go with Rusty right here. Go ahead, Rusty.
Rusty Ball, NASCAR Media Group. Just wanted to ask you to look ahead to Phoenix, if you would. I know, memory serves me correctly, you won the nationwide race last year out there. I remember you doing a little roll with the broken foot for the fans. But if you could talk about the Phoenix race, and is that a track where it's really a driver's track, where the driver slides the car, does whatever they need to do?
Yeah, Phoenix has been one of my favorite tracks to go to. As the first place I ever raced on pavement, so that was a big deal to me to go out there in the USAC Silver Crown cars, and so I spent a lot of nights laying in my bed thinking about Phoenix and how to run that place, and we've had a lot of success there in the Nationwide Series. I think we sat on the pole there, maybe in the Cup car, or qualified second, led a bunch one time, and that was good. And it is. It's a driver's racetrack. It's a track that the driver can make a big difference on. Obviously, your car has to be set up, really well. But once the car is perfect, then it's up to that's the track that it truly comes down to the driver. That if you win that race, it's one that you can be really proud of. So I'd love to win the Cup race out there. That'd be great. And the nationwide races have been really good. I've really enjoyed running there. It's such a unique track. It's got bumps and I don't know. It's really unique. I like it.
Let's go over here to Nate Ryan.
Nate Ryan, yes, I do. Carl, it used to be that the guys used to talk, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago with the old car about drafting with each other, that sometimes their cars wouldn't work well with other cars, and it might not even be that like they could do it with their teammates, but maybe they could do it with a guy from another team or even another manufacturer.
Right.
With this 2-car breakaway thing, has that kind of gone out the window? I mean, can you just work well with just about anybody now as long as it's just a 2-car train?
Right. Yeah. I mean that. And it really leaves because of this 2-car breakaway thing and how well the cars match up bumper to bumper. It leaves a lot of options out there. When Brad and I had our race there, and I was in line, I don't know, 6th or 8th or something like that, and he just pulled up behind me and started pushing, and we pulled out and we passed everyone. I mean, it was 2 laps. We were however many yards ahead of the field, and we were just screaming. And we hadn't worked together all day. I'd never drafted with him before. And that went really well. That could happen with anyone. I think there could be, you could have guys running under the white flag in 8th, 9th position, and they get matched up the right way and pull out and go. And I don't think it matters who the manufacturer, what manufacturer the car is, whether they're teammates or not. It's just going to come down to who gets teamed up together, and if they can keep their cars together and not wreck one another, they're going to be really fast.
Any additional questions for Carl? Tom has one more right here, please.
Carl, Tom Jensen from Speed.com again. There's, obviously with the uncertainty going on at RPM, there's been discussions that the Ganassi team might switch over to Ford. How much of a benefit would that be to you guys, especially having worked with Jamie before at Ford when he was with Rowdy?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the RPM. I asked the question in the hauler there 15 minutes ago, and nobody there really knew what was going on. So that aside, the more Ford teams we can have, the better. I mean, Ford is doing a great job in the marketplace, and they've got a lot of resources at their disposal right now. And the more teams we could have running Fords, the better off we'd be. So if the Ganassi guys want to switch to Fords, that would be huge for us. I would love to be able to work with Jamie and Juan and their engineers and all the people over there that they've made some really big gains. Their cars are really fast, so that would be huge for us to be able to work with them. And yeah, like I said, the more the merrier.
Let's go Lee and then Mark.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. To follow up on that, would it give the Roush cars competition in their own ranks, knowing that there's another Ford program out there to compete with? Because basically what you have right now is Roush doing their thing in a turnkey deal for, the rest of the partners. So, does that kind of up the competition in the Ford camp itself?
Right. I think it would help us. I don't know if I'd call it competition, but maybe it would be. If it always helps me when one of my teammates is running better than me. It makes me faster. And if those guys were able to come over, if they were able to be part of our group And if they had things that were working better than us, that's definitely good for us. Hopefully we could learn from them. We just like we talked about last week at Martinsville, and I talked about in the media center. We look at Jamie's situation, and we say here's a guy who who changed teams and all of a sudden can run very, very well. And I wouldn't give to know exactly what's different. I mean, that would be huge for us to be able to understand what is different between Jamie running over Roush and Jamie running at Ganassi, because we would hope that we could apply that stuff to our cars and make them faster too. So, yeah, if you could have people like that are close, that are competitive, that are close to you, then that'd be great.
Over here, Mark.
Carl, Mark Carroll, PRN. Talked to several drivers today about we're almost to the end of the year. Have at it, boys. Just about everybody that I've talked to, they've had on the receiving end and the giving end. And how do you think that's all worked out through the year?
I think it's worked out pretty well. I mean, I haven't noticed a huge difference except for maybe in the penalties, and that's been nice for NASCAR to let us police things out there. And I mean, I know I've pushed the limits of it personally, not intentionally. Some of the results weren't intentional, that's for sure. But I think it's good, and I think it says a lot for NASCAR to recognize and stand behind the fact that the guys on the racetrack can police this as well as anyone. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's good for the fans and good for the sport. Probably in the end, better for safety.
Any additional questions? Well, Carl, we appreciate it. Good luck this weekend, and have a good time down at the Subway.
All right, cool. Yeah, see you guys down there.